1. Which adult learning principles should guide instructors when preparing nyseslat support sessions for educators? A. Adults learn best through passive memorization. B. Adults are motivated by relevance to their teaching practice. C. Adults prefer abstract theory over real application. D. Adults require identical instruction as children. 2. Which evaluation method best assesses if teachers understand nyseslat scoring rubrics? A. Self-reported confidence surveys. B. Scenario-based practice with sample student responses. C. Watching a video without feedback. D. Peer group discussions only. 3. When developing nyseslat curriculum support, which factor is most important? A. Alignment with New York State learning standards and test framework. B. Instructor preference for teaching style. C. Random activity design for variety. D. Exclusive focus on grammar drills. 4. How should a mentor support a new teacher unfamiliar with nyseslat's speaking section? A. Provide modeling and structured role-play practice. B. Leave them to study the manual independently. C. Criticize their errors without guidance. Delay feedback until test administration. 5. Which communication strategy is most effective for explaining nyseslat writing rubrics to teachers? A. Delivering lengthy theoretical lectures. B. Using annotated student samples to illustrate criteria. C. Providing rubrics without examples. D. Avoiding questions to save time. 6. What evaluation practice ensures consistency among nyseslat raters? A. Standardized training with calibration exercises. B. Personal judgment based on intuition. C. Peer voting on student performance. D. Individual interpretation without discussion. 7. Which regulatory authority governs the nyseslat design and implementation? A. New York State Education Department, NYSED. B. Local parent-teacher associations. C. Independent textbook publishers. D. Federal Department of Agriculture. 8. What adaptation best supports adult educators who are second language learners themselves? A. Provide bilingual training materials and pacing adjustments. B. Exclude them from training sessions. C. Focus exclusively on advanced theory. D. Require self-study with no assistance. 9. When mentoring novice nyseslat administrators, what is the most ethical practice? A. Model professional test administration and provide feedback. B. Allow errors to go uncorrected for learning. C. Publicly criticize performance in front of peers. E. Deny access to official training resources. 10. Which adult learning principle supports the use of case studies in nyseslat training? A. Adults benefit from connecting learning to authentic contexts. B. Adults prefer irrelevant abstract examples. C. Adults learn primarily through rote drills. D. Adults rely solely on external authority. 11. If a teacher misunderstands the listening comprehension scoring process, the mentor should A. Clarify the rubric and provide guided practice with audio samples. B. Ignore the issue to avoid slowing training. C. Provide only the rubric without explanation. D. Wait until state testing begins to correct them. 12. Which evaluation approach best reveals teacher readiness for nyseslat administration? A. Practice assessments with observation and feedback. B. Post-course surveys about confidence levels. C. End-of-year student outcomes. D. Peer discussion circles. 13. What curriculum element is essential in nyseslat training modules? A. Sequenced instruction aligned with test domains, reading, writing, speaking, listening. B. Randomized lesson order for variety. C. Elimination of speaking practice for efficiency. D. Exclusive focus on grammar instruction. 14. An adult learner expresses frustration with the complexity of test accommodations policies. What should the trainer do? A. Break down policies with real examples and scenarios. B. Repeat the policies verbatim without explanation. C. Suggest they skip accommodations training. Redirect focus solely on scoring rubrics. 15. Why is effective communication crucial in nyseslat scoring sessions? A. To ensure consistent interpretation of rubrics and criteria. B. To entertain raters during training. C. To replace the need for written guidelines. D. To avoid addressing disagreements. 16. Which formative evaluation tool best helps teachers practice applying nyseslat rubrics? A. Immediate feedback during scoring of sample student work. B. A final written exam only. C. Informal peer discussion without criteria. D. Instructor opinion without examples. 17. How should instructors address diverse experience levels among adult educators? Differentiate activities to support novices and challenge experts. B. Focus only on advanced teachers. C. Lower standards for less experienced participants. Keep all training content at the same level. 18. Which mentoring technique fosters long-term growth in nyseslat trainers? A. Gradual release of responsibility with structured feedback. B. Leaving trainers to work independently immediately. C. Emphasizing only mistakes without solutions. D. Avoiding structured observation. 19. Which evaluation method is most reliable in ensuring inter-rater reliability? A. Benchmarking against anchor papers and calibration exercises. B. Instructor's memory of learner performance. C. Peer consensus without guidelines. D. Student feedback on fairness. 20. Which adult learning concept explains why reflective debriefing improves nyseslat training? A. Learners consolidate knowledge by reviewing experiences. B. Learners avoid benefits of reflection. C. Learners gain more from silent observation. D. Learners dislike discussing past performance. 21. What instructional approach ensures teachers master the speaking rubric? A. Role-playing scenarios with immediate feedback. B. Reading rubrics independently only. C. Discussing rubrics without practice. D. Memorizing policies without application. 22. What feedback style supports confidence while addressing errors in nyseslat training? A. Specific and constructive, starting with strengths. B. General criticism without solutions. C. Withholding feedback until after testing. D. Providing only positive comments. 23. Which regulatory compliance requirement applies to nyseslat administration? A. Adhering strictly to NYSED guidelines and protocols. B. Allowing teachers to modify scoring independently. C. Following only district-level preferences. D. Ignoring accommodations for efficiency. 24. How should a nyseslat training curriculum be structured? A. Progressive skill development aligned with test domains. B. Random activities without sequence. C. Emphasis only on writing sections. D. Removal of listening components. 25. What motivational strategy keeps adult educators engaged in nyseslat training? A. Connect training content to real classroom impact on ELL students. Require memorization without context. C. Offer irrelevant incentives only. D. Eliminate active practice to reduce effort. 26. Which mentoring approach aligns with professional standards? A. Providing guidance, modeling, and constructive critique. Allowing mistakes without intervention. C. Critiquing only in public forums. D. Withholding resources to test resilience. 27. Why is reflective practice valuable for nyseslat instructors? It improves teaching strategies and learner outcomes over time. E. It discourages continuous learning. C. It limits professional accountability. D. It avoids course adjustments. 28. Which instructional method benefits visual learners in nyseslat training? A. Charts, annotated rubrics, and video examples. E. Long oral lectures without visuals. C. Written policies only. D. Peer discussions without resources. 29. When a trainee consistently misapplies the reading rubric, what should the trainer do? A. Provide step-by-step guided practice with anchor responses. B. Ignore errors to maintain pace. C. Assign independent reading without support. D. Delay correction until state testing. 30. Which adult learning principle supports teacher autonomy in training? A. Self-directed practice using guided rubrics. B. Mandatory rote drills without explanation. C. Instructor-dominated lectures only. D. Passive observation of experts. 31. Why is co-facilitation valuable in mentoring nyseslat instructors? A. It allows new trainees to practice with guidance and real-time feedback. E. It eliminates need for oversight. C. It prevents exposure to errors. D. It replaces official training modules.